Peter and Hannah married in Heidelberg at St Monica's, a weatherboard chapel, on the 2nd of May 1859. St Monica's was replaced by the current bluestone church of St John's in Heidelberg. At the time of their wedding, the parish boundaries extended as far as Lilydale, Healesville, Warburton, and many nearby places, including Eltham, where Peter and Hannah set up on a farm next to Peter's brother Patrick. Around the time Peter and Hannah arrived in Eltham, there were 3 stores, including a post office, 2 pubs, the Eltham, shown here, and the Fountain of Friendship. There was also a primary school, flour mill, brickwork, and a tannery, and a population of about 487 in 1857. Peter and Hannah made a home on the corner of Bible and Napoleon Streets. The house was still standing in 2008, although it had long ago passed out of the family. Peter and Hannah would have 10 children. Hannah would spend the best part of 20 years, from the age of 18, being pregnant or recovering from pregnancy. In August 1867, about 8 years after setting up in Eltham, Peter Carrucan had fallen on hard times. Through illness and a lack of work, he was unable to pay his debts and was declared insolvent. This was not the same as today's bankruptcy situation. Peter could keep his farm and other assets, but the debts would stick to him until he could pay them off. A far more shocking story was revealed a year later, when Peter Carrucan was charged with rape, a capital offence at the time. The details were covered in the Argus on the 19th of October 1868. Mrs. Emma Ardley of Footscray was travelling to Eltham to recover some clothes belonging to her eldest daughter. She was walking towards Eltham when Peter picked her up in his horse-drawn dray. Her evidence, given with a clearness and candour, was that he raped her on a lonely part of the road near Eltham. Mrs. Ardley was considered to be a respectable character, 47 years old and the mother of 6 children. She shared the details of the rape with 2 female acquaintances that she stayed with after the assault, and at their advice she went to the police 2 days later. It was a subject of comment by the defence and by the judge that it was strange that such an outrage should not have been brought to the police earlier. Perhaps other women would have been more sympathetic about the possible reasons for taking time to expose yourself by making such a charge. The defence argued that it was dangerous to convict a man of a capital offence on the uncorroborated evidence of one witness, and that Mr. Carrucan had been spoken of well by every witness that knew him. The jury retired for a very few minutes before returning a verdict of not guilty. We don't have any pictures of Peter Carrucan, who died in 1895, aged 58, but there is this photo of Hannah, showing 4 generations of the family. Hannah, her eldest daughter, Hannah Sloane, her granddaughter, Hannah O'Brien, and her great-granddaughter, Mary O'Brien. The photo was taken around 1910, when Hannah Carrucan was about 70. She would live on until the 29th of March 1920, dying at the age of 78. She had been ill for some time, but the death of her eldest son, Patrick, in early March due to heart trouble, was said to have hastened Hannah's death. We will next follow our story with Michael Carrucan, father to Frank and grandfather to Moya, Brian, Gavin, Peter, Anne and Estelle.